Well, good afternoon from Des Moines, Iowa. We're here in Class 1 Berkshire Gilts. Class 1 Berkshire Gilt is in the ring. So far we have one gilt pen. Jackson Tarrance of Oklahoma with his Monopoly gilt has been penned early on. We got Judge John Hinker here from Decorah, Iowa.
Exhibitors, we want to welcome you here to the World Pork Expo Berkshire Show. Record numbers here this year at this event, and we're very excited to have this event here this year. We're also excited that our good friends there at Walton Webcasting are broadcasting this event via the World Wide Web. So if you have friends or neighbors at home that could the promotions going on as well, so again, everyone can stay connected here with the Berkshire breed. If you haven't had a chance to pick up a catalog, you can do so. It's available for you ringside or over at the office.
We had our second gilt catch a pen, 838-5. Brooklyn Hollabaugh from Oklahoma with her Whatever It Takes gilt catches the second pen of Class 1 Berkshire Gilts.
So we'll be doing that after we show all the gilt classes and all the board classes. We will be recognizing those scholarship winners via the...
Like I said, we have John Hinker judging the Berkshire show today, and Brad Mabry is going to be helping John today. Brad's originally from Texas, lives here in Iowa now.
A meeting where they will be releasing all the progeny results as well as question and answer session about the progeny testing.
Do you want me to? Oh, okay.
So we'll give you more information.
Have you not done this before? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought you were...
Completion of the show. It's our privilege to welcome Mr. John Hinker of Decorah, Iowa, stepping into the ring to evaluate our Berkshire seed stock. John, of course, is a very passionate purebred
back here on the CPS side of things.
This morning, it's our privilege to have him step into the ring to evaluate our Berkshire seed stock. John has a great passion for purebreds.
Test. There we go.
I can hear you, Jason.
Here on the Berkshire side of things, Ben mentioned there, Class 1 World Pork Expo Berkshire Breeding Stock Show. Jason Curray here with Ben Smalling. We're going to call the action here from ringside for you today. As John and Brad work through the first class here. Yeah, I'd say the Berkshire show is going to be pretty good today. If it's any indication of the last 2 days in the Junior Gilt Show and Junior Bear Show, this breed's got a strong surge right now in it, and you always look forward to this. Always look forward to this show here with just the depth and quality, and say the way Class 1 looks here, we're going to be in for a good day.
Yeah, and Jason, we got 8 classes of Berkshire Gilts today. 1 class of bred gilts and 5 classes of Berkshire boars. Just walking through the back of the barn today, like you said or alluded to, we're going to have a heck of a Berkshire show today.
Absolutely. You two very qualified individuals to work through it for us. Mr. John Hinker, maybe not necessarily a Berkshire breeder. From here in Iowa, very good, well-respected throughout breeder across the country, but one of the very good livestock minds. So, no matter the collar or ear set, we're going to get a pretty solid opinion on these things today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Looks like they got 2 gilts pinned off here, and we're going to work through the rest of them here. Gilts in this first class, or the younger ones, if you will. Looks like we got a date spread, an age from about January 11th to about the 28th. Lots of different states represented. I'm sure lots of breeders, lots of different pedigrees represented as well. As the day goes through here, we'll try to get you pedigree information watching at home there, so you can kind of stay up to date on what's happening here in Des Moines.
Since then, we've had 2 more gilts penned. Looks like 876 or 875-5 Madison Salazar. She's got a Wolfpack gilt, takes pen 3.
Looks like 821-5s there in pen 4.
Brian Lendenny of Texas of the Wolfpack gilt catches pen 4.
Looks like a pair of Wolfpacks. We got looks like a Whatever It Takes in pen 2, and then we've got a Monopoly in pen 4. So good mix of sires represented so far. Be waiting on a late entry or something, possibly.
I was just kind of doing the math there. It looks like we're missing. Looks like we got 7 gilts in the ring, and we're supposed to have 10 entries in this class. So put the brakes on progress here for a little bit.
A few tardy ones here.
How's your week been, Jason?
Very good, very good. Just got to work through the Poland show with Adam. Very, very good Poland show to work through. Probably the deeper Poland show, especially boar-wise, we've had to see in a while. Junior show's been incredible both days. Maybe the deepest we've seen, in a while. The team purebred is definitely alive and strong with that Barra show yesterday.
Very well represented in the overall deal, too.
Yep, 3 of the top 5 team purebreds, which hasn't typically been the case, so the fire's sure alive here. So not much longer. We'll wait for our late arrivals. I guess we could say in the words of the great Warren Beeler, if you're not here, you're late.
Exactly. You're on time, you're late. Looks like they're just going to go ahead and continue to work through the class. Gilts must have scratched or decided to roll on here. So it looks like we'll have 7 in this first class, and pretty well got it lined up here. John's going to rework his top 2 or 3, I'd say. Try to get you in order and keep rolling here. So coming out of pen 1, we have Gilt 886-5, Jackson Tarrance. His Monopoly Gilt, born the 18th of January.
Just got a text. We've been sitting here. That particular Gilt, bred by a good friend of mine, Jared Hood, Oklahoma. Doing a real good job there in the Berkshire thing. We just bought the reserve boar from him there at Belton. One of the good Berkshire herds there in Oklahoma. This one's kind of the epitome of what you can expect from Jared. Really stout bone, killer good looking, and then good on her feet and legs. He'll definitely deserve to be out here in the top 3 in this class for sure.
I'd say as quickly as that one caught a pen, Jason, that one's looking good. And actually, Judge Tinker has actually just named him the class winner here in this first class of Berkshire Gilts.
We got a nice class here. We had a few scratches we were waiting on there. Apologize for the wait. We got a nice class here to start the day in the Berkshire ring. We got a stout featured gal here to lead off, one that's really got some length of body to her. She's got a big hip. She's heavy in her structured. A logical choice here, I think, to lead. I like the design in our 830 8.5 Gilt a little bit better. I think she's a little later in her maturity. I like that about her. She's just a little shorter strided behind for me to move up above the other Gilt. Flex her hock, bring that back, and drive forward a little better. We could have moved her up. We got a Gilt that's opened up and has some length of stride, a lot of dimension. A little smaller in her package, I think, compared to the other two. But one there has got a big rib, big blade in her, got some stoutness of feature, and still looks feminine, got a good underline on that Gilt. One that's got a lot of value as well. Another Gilt similar to her. She's a busted open Gilt that's big forearm Gilt. I like that about her. You get her down her top line from the top of her blade down through her spine. I like to smoothen that out. I like to smoothen her ham-loin junction. Feet and legs, I like your Gilt. She's really fresh. Just give her a better top line. Next Gilt here is Gilt, a little smaller in her kind, good in her design, just needs to be a little heavier in her structure, a little later in her maturity for me to move up any higher. And we got a pounds light Gilt that just needs to have more power. I like her maturity, but she's just a little narrower in her base for me to move up any higher. Let's give those a hand for a nice competitive class to start the day.
We just
typically don't go back on until he reads the results, unless you can. Oh, can he?
Just finished Class 1 here in the Berkshire Gilt Show. First went to Jackson Tarrance of Oklahoma with his Monopoly Gilt, and as Jason said during the class, bred by Hoods from Oklahoma. Second class, Brooklyn Hollabaugh, Oklahoma. Third, Madison Salazar of Waxahachie, Texas, with a Wolfpack Gilt. And fourth to Ryland Denny of Waxahachie, Texas as well. Another Wolfpack Gilt. I'm guessing those Gilts are litter mates. They're 9 litter Gilts.